Chelsea Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in world football. A club built on ambition, trophies, drama, and constant change. But right now, the biggest question around Stamford Bridge is not about players. It's about leadership. Who is the right manager to take Chelsea into the next era? We asked fans, analysts, and football voices one simple question. Who should be the next Chelsea manager? And four names keep coming up again and again. Andoni Iraola, Cesc Fàbregas, Xabi Alonso, Frank Lampard. Four very different profiles. Four very different ideas of Chelsea's future. So let's break it down, properly. Before choosing a manager, we must understand the problem. Chelsea in recent seasons has become a club searching for identity. One season it's possession football. Next season it's transition play. Then it becomes youth development. Then it shifts again. No stability, clear working vision the fans all want to see. No consistent philosophy. And in modern football, that is really dangerous. Because clubs like Manchester City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, they don't just hire managers. They hire systems. So the real question is, does Chelsea want a quick fix? Or a long-term football identity? Because the next manager will decide that direction. Let's start with one of the most tactical names on Chelsea's shortlist right now. Andoni Iraola. Andoni Iraola is a manager built on intensity with high pressing, fast transitions and set-piece football, relentless energy. At Bournemouth, he showed something very important. He did not simply survive against bigger teams. He competed against them aggressively. And that matters for Chelsea. Because the Premier League is not patient. Chelsea is pressure. Chelsea is expectation. Chelsea is noise. Every single week the fans expect winning. And that is why Iraola is such an interesting option. Tactically, he may actually fit this current Chelsea squad better than many people realize when you look at players like Pedro Neto, Estêvão, Caicedo, João Pedro, Enzo Fernández, Malo Gusto, Cucurella, and Reece James. You immediately see athleticism, speed, pressing power, and transition quality. Those are Iraola players. Under Iraola, Chelsea would likely become one of the most aggressive pressing teams in England. The front line would work constantly without the ball. The midfield would become more vertical and physical. And transitions would become much faster. João Pedro could become a major weapon in this system because Iraola loves strikers who attack defenders aggressively and press non-stop from the front. Pedro Neto would thrive because Iraola's football creates open spaces for explosive wingers. Caicedo may actually become the heartbeat of the entire system because his energy and ball-winning ability perfectly suit high-intensity football. Even Cole Palmer becomes more dangerous in transition moments because once Chelsea win the ball high, Palmer would immediately receive freedom between defensive lines. Defensively, Colwill, Hato, Reece James, and Gusto all fit the aggressive style because they are mobile enough to defend high up the pitch. But there are concerns. Very serious concerns. Because coaching Bournemouth and coaching Chelsea are completely different realities. At Chelsea, every defeat becomes national discussion. Every tactical mistake becomes headline news. And managing elite dressing room pressure is completely different from coaching tactics. There are also tactical risks. High-pressing football leaves spaces behind. That means concentration becomes everything. Young defenders like Hato and Achimpong would need time to fully adapt tactically. And the goalkeeper situation may still raise questions in build-up phases under pressure. Still, for fans who want intensity, aggression, structure, and modern pressing football, Iraola is a very serious option. Now let's move to one of the most emotional names on the shortlist. Cesc Fàbregas. A player who once controlled games at the highest level. Now stepping into management with huge expectations following him everywhere. And honestly, you can already see why many Chelsea fans are excited. Fàbregas represents something different. A modern football brain shaped by elite football education. His tactical ideas are based around technical control, intelligent possession, midfield combinations, and attacking creativity. And when you study Chelsea's current squad, there are players who fit his style beautifully. Enzo Fernández would likely thrive under Fabregas because his football values technical midfield control and progressive passing. Cole Palmer would also become central to everything creatively. Estêvão would enjoy the freedom of positional rotations and technical combinations in advanced areas. Even João Pedro looks like the kind of intelligent technical forward that could flourish in Fabregas' attacking structure. High-voltage Y fans love this idea. Deep understanding of elite football. Modern tactical thinking. Strong relationship with younger players. And a clear attacking football identity. But let's be honest. This is still the biggest gamble on the list. Because Chelsea is not a learning ground. Chelsea is immediate pressure. Immediate scrutiny. Immediate expectation. A player who wants immediate expectation. At Chelsea, you do not get 2 or 3 seasons to quietly develop your coaching identity. You are judged almost instantly. And that is the concern. Not intelligence. Not football knowledge. Experience. Can Fabregas handle the intensity of elite Premier League management this early in his coaching career? Can he manage dressing room politics, media pressure, and tactical demands all at once? Because the upside could be incredible. But the risk is also very real. Now we arrive at the name that excites almost every football fan. Xabi Alonso. This is the elite appointment profile. The manager who instantly changes how people view Chelsea's future. At Bayer Leverkusen, Alonso built a tactical machine. Dominant structure. Intelligent pressing. Calm control under pressure. Winning mentality. But what makes Alonso special is balance. His teams are aggressive without losing control. Structured without becoming predictable. And when you look carefully at Chelsea's current squad, you can actually see how naturally many players fit his football philosophy. Enzo Fernández could become one of the most important midfielders in Europe under Alonso because this system would finally maximize his control, passing range, and intelligence. Caicedo would provide the defensive balance and recovery power Alonso's midfield structure demands. Cole Palmer would become the creative connector between midfield and attack. Estêvão's technical quality and close control would thrive in Alonso's positional attacking structure. Even defenders like Colwill and Hato fit naturally because Alonso values centre-backs who are calm and technically secure in possession. Reece James and Cucurella could become one of the biggest tactical weapons in the entire team because Alonso loves flexible fullbacks who can invert, overlap, and control possession phases intelligently. Why Chelsea fans dream of Alonso? His tactical identity is already elite. His leadership presence is calm and authoritative. And his football looks capable of competing at Champions League level. But here is the reality check. Alonso is not just Chelsea's target. He is Europe's target. And managers like this demand more than money. They demand trust, control, patience, and a serious football project. Chelsea would not simply be hiring a coach. They would be trying to build an era around one of football's brightest tactical minds. So the question becomes, is Chelsea ready to fully commit to Alonso's football vision? Or will they hesitate and miss the opportunity completely? And finally, the emotional option. Frank Lampard. Chelsea legend. Club icon. One of the greatest midfielders in Premier League history. And the emotional connection between Lampard and Chelsea supporters will always remain powerful. The case for Lampard. He understands Chelsea culture deeply. He connects with fans instantly. And he has always shown belief in younger players. With talents like Santos, Estêvão, Guiu, and Achimpong developing, many fans believe Lampard would protect and trust youth again. For completely different football ideas. Iraola brings intensity, pressing, and aggression. Fabregas brings creativity, technical football, and long-term potential. Alonso brings elite tactical structure and world-class ambition. Lampard brings emotional identity and connection to the club. But Chelsea's decision is bigger than simply choosing a manager. Because the next coach will not just lead the team. He will define the next era of Chelsea Football Club. So now we ask you, who do you trust for the job?